Hello, hello.
Good day.
I just love Todd's background.
Hey, Cameron.
Hey, how you doing, Jackie?
I'm good. Hey, I'm going to try this without earbuds. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine. Yep,
Okay,
and we have
good.
your guest there as well.
Yes. Hi, Susan.
Oh, I think Susan's muted. Nope. We can't hear you, Susan.
Oh,
Okay.
there she's getting her.
Yeah.
Hi, Susan. Can you hear us okay?
Yes, I can. I was trying to figure out how I was going to use this hotel room as a backdrop here.
Oh.
Because all we have is unmade beds in the other direction. So
Are you traveling?
It's about as good as it gets, I guess. The
Are
desk
you traveling for fun or work?
That looks fine.
It does? Good. I'm going to turn on some more lights.
You get my text, Cam?
I did. Thank you, Todd. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'll check when I get in.
I appreciate that. Thank you. More than you know.
Yeah, it says, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Look at that smile. Welcome to the show. How are you today, my friend?
I'm great. How are you doing, Todd?
I'm excited to have you on the show.
Oh, I'm thrilled to be here.
How much time we got, Cam?
Let me just do this a second. Hang on a second.
So we're not live yet. Okay.
No,
Not
not
yet.
Got about 2 minutes to go. I'm just
All
getting
right. Okay. I'll be right back.
Great.
Yeah, I'm just getting your Facebook live feed going in a second here, so that we can broadcast video and audio on both our channels. All right.
So, Susan, Life Mastery Radio is like a fireside chat. And
Okay, great.
if you can create the vision of us sitting on a porch somewhere with a couple of glasses of tea, hot or cold, having a discussion. And I like to connect with spirit before the show, and those questions seem to flow out of that blue place, wherever that blue place is. And I know it's pertinent to what people are thinking out there somewhere.
All right, stand by, everybody. We're going to get going.
To Contact Talk Radio.
Hello, this is Daniel Brinkley, and you are listening to Contact Talk Radio.
The views expressed on contacttalkradio.com are those of the guest hosts and callers, and not necessarily of this station, its management, or other advertisers.
This is contacttalkradio.com. Consciousness in action, and you are taking action into your consciousness by tuning into Contact Talk Radio.
And on tunein.com, Ping.fm, and UpSnap Mobile.
Contact Talk Radio. Welcome to Life Mastery with Todd Allen, the talk radio show that dives into the science of higher consciousness. Join Todd and his guests weekly at 10 a.m. Pacific Time and learn how to live a peaceful life with intentional mastery. Enjoy a survey of inspiring topics such as abundance, intention, health, manifestation, love, and transformation. It's all right here. Leading authors, speakers, coaches, entrepreneurs with stories and messages to support your well-being, let alone your most evocative dreams.
Hey, guess what? It's another groovy day, mostly because it's Life Mastery Radio Day. Yay! One of my most favorite days of the week. And it's groovy because when I got up this morning, I decided first thing before my feet hit the floor that it was going to be a groovy day. So far, so good. I got some really groovy people on the show with me today. And as always, though, before I get started, I like to get myself centered and situated and connected. And I want you to consciously think about what it is that you connect to. It could be God, it could be Allah, the doorknob, the tree outside your window, the grass, whatever it is. And really consciously connect to that. And let's take in a deep breath. And let that breath out with just a big ah. And let your essence flow from your solar plexus up through your throat chakra. We're talking about chakras. And right out of your speaker box and out into the universe. And create that vibration of that connection. And that conscious connection that you have with that power that gives you the power to show up as you are every day. And let's do that one more time. In with a deep breath. Let that breath out with just a and resonate with all. And let your dreams, visions, and goals just flow right out through you. And allow the universe the opportunity to make those come true for you. There we go. Are you connected? Jackie's connected. As always, I have my co-host with me today, Jackie Bailey. Jackie,
Hey.
Are you connected?
I don't know. Let me reach out and touch you. Yes. I'm connected.
Jackie is in her classroom. You can see it in the back room and that's your back room, I guess.
No, it's the front room.
That's the front room of Jackie's schoolhouse. How's it going, Jackie? Everything grooving right along?
Yeah, you know what, Todd? We officially are a 501c3.
We are. Da, 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 da.
The IRS came through when we have our approval, so we can start making things happen big time.
And you are set up to go and talk to some state senators. That's really cool.
Yeah, be talking to a Senator McCoy on Friday this week and a Senator Wynn next Wednesday down in Olympia, which is the capital here in the state of Washington.
And this is all to help with the nonprofit, and it's called Speak, Feed, Lead.
It's called the Speak, Feed, Lead Project. Yep.
And tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, we noticed that there's a lot of youth being incarcerated, and it's costing a lot of money. Some of these kids go back a couple times. And so we're looking for ways that can help these children stay out of the juvenile justice system. And I believe that helping them to speak in a powerful way, helping them to recognize a message that they might have, helping them to see the value that they have to give to the world might be a way to stem the tide of juvenile justice and give them an opportunity to do something other than crime and drugs. That's another big problem that we have in the state of Washington here. Also, social media is really not helping our children. They're building their self-esteem on the number of likes and shares and comments they get on social media, and it has nothing to do with who they really are. They try to compare themselves to others, and that just doesn't give anybody joy, but especially those who are so young in their ability to understand the world.
Well, and I think what you're doing is you're helping young adults, young people, little people, because they are people. They're little humans. Right?
They are people. They're human beings.
It's finding out what makes them tick, and it's taking them through a process that they then, and our guest can really talk to this today, but I mean, exploring their inner self and what's important to them and what makes them tick. And I don't know of very many programs, especially around the United States, maybe through somewhere in the world, that teach young humans that skill.
No, in school, they learn how to do research on a given subject matter.
Right. We put
and
them
they
in
learn how to report on that. But they're not being asked, hey, what gives you joy?
Right.
What is the most important lesson you ever learned in life? What is your biggest failure in life? They're not asking those types of questions for our youth and children to understand who they are and what contribution they have to make to the world. Right. And
Passion's
so
another
we're
big
failing
part
them
of it.
in that way. Yeah. And so they go
That's
through
cool.
puberty, not knowing who they are and what contribution they have to make. And then they turn to drugs. They turn to crime.
They turn to outside influences that
Yeah.
they can latch onto, right? That gives them a false sense of identity and not knowing who they really are. So I think it's really cool. And you can find out more at JackieBaileySpeaks.com. The not-for-profit is up. You can donate to this not-for-profit. We're searching for funding to help be able to sponsor these kids to go through these programs, because I think the target audience that you're after, Jackie, there isn't a whole lot of money available for them to get into these programs.
There's money available, but it's being spent on programs that aren't working.
Right.
And so we want to get with these legislators and say, hey, let's try this. Let's try something new. Let's take the money that you've already got budgeted for our youth and children programs, and let's do something different. Let's see if we can make a difference. We want to get into the juvenile justice system and actually go to the kids that are being incarcerated.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and hold some classes there, help them find their voice. And thank you for sharing Jackie Bailey Speaks, but the nonprofit website is www.speakfeedlead.org. And if they go there, that's where they can help us with a donation. And it doesn't have to be a financial donation. It could be a donation of school supplies for our children that are taking these classes. It could be a donation of an item that we could then resell, like a car or even real estate. We accept real estate donations, and we will use them for more school buildings to teach these classes, or we'll sell them to make a profit for the organization. So lots of ways that you can help. And services. Cool. If we need a better website. And so if you are a person that can design a nice website for us as a nonprofit and you're willing to do that as a free service in lieu of a financial donation, we'll take it. So you can
very cool. That's called building a castle, asking for help. Let's all come together and help build this castle that Jackie Bailey's dream. And it's, oh my gosh, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. It's really cool to watch.
Yeah, thank you.
Kudos to Jackie Bailey and Jackie Bailey Speaks and the Speak Lead Project.
Right.
I want to remind our listeners that today's show page is at www.lifemasteryradio.net. You can go there. Any links that we talk about on the show today, I'm telling you right now, we have a really, really, really groovy guest. So any links that we talk about will be right there. So you don't have to worry about writing them down. And while you're there, sign up for our newsletter. Jackie creates a synopsis of the show every week and puts it up in case you missed it, and entices you for the reason why you want to go listen to the show. We have a YouTube channel. There's many venues to find Life Mastery Radio, so you can check that out. And while you're there, you can stop and check out my book, 6 Keys to Life Mastery. It's right there. Check it out. I know you'll love it. After you read it and love it, you can leave me some comments on that one place where everybody goes, Amazon.com. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. Okay. I think we're ready for the show. Are you ready for the show?
I'm ready for the show.
Here we go.
I need to learn about my energy. I'm ready.
Our guest is sitting there patiently. I'm telling you, we had Pam Grout on about 3 weeks ago, and I called her the Master Groovy one. Well, here's another Master Groovy one, because she definitely comes right out of the place where it all started, and she was a big part of that. So we'll introduce her. Our guest today is Dr. Susan Shumsky, and she has dedicated her life to helping people take command of their lives in highly effective, powerful, and positive ways. She is the best-selling author of 17 books in English, published by Simon & Schuster, Random House, Penguin, Red Wheel, Weiser, and Skyhorse, and 34 books published in foreign languages. She has won 31 prestigious book awards, a pioneer in the human potential field, and she has taught thousands of people meditation, prayer, affirmation, and intuition. And so this is a big subject, lots of things to talk about, but we're going to try and stay focused on her most recent book, the big book of Chakras and Chakra Healing. How to unlock your 7 energy centers for healing, happiness, and transformation. And she released another book back in November. So in November, she had another book come out, and then in January, this book came out. But her book that came out in November is Third Eye Meditations, Awaken Your Mind, Spirit, and Intuition. Susan, that was a mouthful. I know that you are a master groovy one. I'm just going to give you that right now. So, right out of the gate, first I want to know is did you write 2 books at the same time?
No, I actually didn't write them at the same time, but they came out 2 months apart from each other. Yeah.
Which one came out first?
The big book of Chakras and Chakra Healing, which came out November 1st. And then
I got it
Third
back.
Third Eye Meditations came out on January 1st.
Yeah.
Nice. Well,
I got it
congratulations.
Thanks.
So give us a little bit of your history. I was checking you out today and looking at your history and reading your book and looking at all your material, and I was blown away to come to find out that in 1966 you were 18 years old in Berkeley. Oh my gosh, where it all started. That's just amazing. Can you tell us a little bit about that, or do you even remember it?
Of course I remember it. It was the 60s. We were hippies living in the San Francisco Bay Area. At that time, our mentors were Timothy Leary and Richard Alpert, who later became Ram Dass. They had written a book called The Psychedelic Experience. And those of us who were hippie flower children, we were seeking nirvana. And Alpert and Leary were telling us to turn on, tune in, and drop out. So that's what I was trying to do.
Don't forget to be here now, though.
And be here now. Well, that was later. Yeah, that was after he became Ram Dass. Yeah,
right.
Richard Alpert. So I was attempting to reach nirvana through LSD, as the rest of us were, and in fact, really, our whole generation at the time was attempting to experience these higher consciousness, these higher states of consciousness. Well, it didn't work out too well to do it through LSD. So
I think Ram Dass and Timothy Leary came to that understanding, didn't they?
Yes. Well, Ram Dass did for sure.
Yeah.
So and I really wanted to learn real meditation. I was reading all the Buddhist scriptures, reading Autobiography of a Yogi by Paramahansa Yogananda. I was reading The Way of Zen and other books by Alan Watts. And in Alan Watts' books, he said that you have to find a meditation guide. Well, in 1966 in Berkeley, California, you didn't exactly go to the Yellow Pages and find meditation guide or anything remotely similar to
Probably
that.
could today, though, right? You could today.
Yes, you could today. It's different. It's a different world today. So I asked a friend, well, how do I find the meditation guide? And he said, have you ever tried to meditate on your own? And I said, okay, I'll give it a shot. Why not? What do I have to lose? So I lay down on my bed. That's how clueless I was. I didn't even know that you're supposed to sit up when you meditate. I lay on my bed and sort of prayed for or asked for a meditation. Immediately, I was propelled into this ecstatic state. I could feel this horde or rush of energy rushing from the tips of my toes all the way up to the top of my head. And I felt like I was plugged into this cosmic electric socket, but in a most ecstatic way. And this rush, this flow of energy was just going up through my body. And I figured, well, I guess this is meditation. You know, I didn't know any better. Not only had I had my first meditation experience, but also Kundalini awakening all at the same time without any stimulants or drugs or anything. So that was my first experience of meditation.
Yeah, it was back in the day, Transcendental Meditation. I can remember, reading as much as I could, but I didn't get it just like you. It was just this esoteric thing that, could lead me in different directions, but people had all these different ideas and different directions. And, it was just, so I'll tell you, in 1966, I was 5, so I wasn't quite that old. But, I had uncles around me that were all in that groove, and oh my goodness, it was just a time that I have little memories of, but I still can. Well, I'm in the groove, right, Jackie? I'm a groovy
Oh
guy.
yeah, you're very groovy.
I'm
Very
left
groovy.
over from the 60s. What a great time. What a, it was all about exploration. And so the other thing that I discovered about you, Susan, was it wasn't that long ago that you really weren't that interested in chakras and the healing power of chakras. But then you began to investigate it and became intrigued. Did I get that right?
Well, I became intrigued because of the fact that my publisher asked me to write a book about it.
Right. And you didn't
really have a choice.
Right? You
I
weren't.
had a publishing contract. So no, I actually went back to the ancient scriptures of India to find the most authentic information I could find about the subject. So I delved into the Tantric and Vedic scriptures, and lo and behold, I found all this amazing information about the human energy field, about the chakras, about prana, about all the things that are related to chakras. So it was a fascinating study, fascinating investigation, and it all ended up in this book, the big book of chakras and chakra healing. So what I discovered was that the ancient scriptures talk about 14 chakras. There's 7 major ones that people generally know about. The 7 major ones are the base chakra or root chakra, and the pelvic chakra, the navel chakra, the heart chakra, the throat chakra, the third eye chakra, and the crown chakra, going up through the human energy field. And then there's all these 7 other chakras, most of which are in your head that I didn't know about. So I included that in the book, and I just studied and found out all about it. And then I illustrated the book. I'm an artist, so I did these beautiful illustrations of the chakra deities, chakra yantras, all these things that are related to chakras, and also created all these graphics for the book. So it's a heavily illustrated book, and it ended up being like an encyclopedia about the chakras. It has everything you ever wanted to know about chakras, and also it includes everything you didn't want to know about chakras. It's all there in the book.
Well, and now you're considered the source, right? People.
The reality is you're not going to find this information anywhere else unless you went back to the ancient scriptures and found this amazing information about the chakras.
And so help enlighten us a little bit. This goes back, the energy system of the chakra system, and how far back does it go? How far back do we know that it goes, Susan? I know it goes back probably a long, long time, but this is stuff that ancient peoples understood and lived by, and it made a difference in their life.
Well, yes, you've actually explained it very, very beautifully. It is. They've been known about, chakras have been known about since ancient times in the Far East, obviously not in the West. I mean, in the mid-20th century, no one had ever heard of a chakra.
Right.
They also had never heard of meditation, mantra, yoga, any of that did not exist in mid-20th century. But thank goodness, such wonderful teachers from India and elsewhere came to the West and began to teach us about these esoteric subjects. That's why the world is a different place now than it was back then.
But something that I know you commented on, and I wanted to make sure that we made clear is there's a lot of hype and a lot of publicity about this system and system of learning, but it's really giving people a lot of disinformation about the power and how to tap into it, and really could harm people. Is that what you were saying?
I don't think it's really harmful unless people try to practice, for example, a pranayama, meaning breathing exercises. If they are not trained properly on how to do that easily, effortlessly, it could cause damage. Yeah, there are some practices that are better done when you know how to do them.
Well, and I guess my point was it can cause confusion and people to be just disoriented and totally walk away from it and just say,
well, yeah, I mean, there is the fact that this kind of woo-woo, new age kind of attitude is a little bit airy-fairy, shall we say, not all that down to earth. But in fact, the energy system, it's what's keeping you alive. That's the reality. The reality is that prana, life force energy, in India it's called prana, that is what is keeping you alive. In the ancient scriptures of India, it is said that when prana is in the body, that is what is defined as life. And when prana leaves the body, that is what is defined as death.
Right.
So prana is what is giving you motion, it is giving you heat. And when prana leaves the body becomes cold and there's no motion. Prana is life force energy. Prana is life itself.
Here, Jackie, I've been hogging the airwaves. I'm just going to shut up for a minute.
Well, Susan, I know that I think you went to India, right? When you were quite young to learn from a yogi about meditation. Am I right?
That's true. I went to India in 1970 to study with Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. He was the guru of the Beatles.
Right.
Later, I mean, not later, but after I learned meditation, the Beatles ended up learning Transcendental Meditation as well. And so, yeah, he was the guru of the Beatles. And I went to study with him, spent 6 months with him in India in 1970. And then in 1971, I joined his personal staff. I was on his staff for 6 years.
Wow.
And I ended up living in his various ashrams throughout the world for over 2 decades.
Wow.
So most of my youth in the ashrams of Maharishi Mahesh Yogi.
Now, why did you feel the need to do that when you had such an amazing experience with your first meditation, even though by meditation rules, maybe you didn't do it all correctly, but you obviously had this life-changing experience. Why did you feel that you needed even more instruction in that?
Well, I needed to learn how to actually practice meditation. That was just kind of a fluke. I just kind of prayed for it and it happened. But I needed to know how to systematically do that at will on a daily basis. So yeah, a friend took me to the Transcendental Meditation Center in Berkeley, California. And I saw a picture of the guru on the wall. And as soon as I saw that picture, I just felt waves of love and waves of energy coming from the picture, from the guru's eyes. I was just being washed over with divine energy. And I knew immediately this is where I will learn real meditation. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to have a meditation guide. I wanted to learn real meditation. So thank goodness, eventually I did learn. There was no teacher at the meditation center, but 9 months later, a teacher came. And I learned meditation in August of 1967 during the Summer of Love. I think that's apropos. And then I had such an amazing transformation from meditation that I immediately wanted to become a TM teacher. And so I kept applying to the teacher training courses, and I kept getting rejected because they said that I was too young. You had to be like 24 years old and a graduate of college. And, you know, I was younger than that. So it took a while, but eventually Maharishi allowed the younger students to go to India. And that's when I ended up going there. And it was an amazing transformation in my life.
How did it change you? Because back in 66, you said you were searching for nirvana, right?
Yes.
Did you find that through meditation? And why was that such an important thing for you to have or to experience?
Well, you know, I think it's important for everyone to realize who they really are and to experience higher consciousness. And that's what we were seeking as flower children. And that was my big thing that I was seeking. And thank goodness I found a way to really meditate and to experience those higher states of consciousness. And then later, after I left the ashram, which was in 1989, I left the ashram. Around that time, I learned another form of meditation that I liked even better. And I began writing books about that and teaching that. And that's what I've been doing since 1989, really.
What form is that?
I call it divine revelation. And I wrote a book called Divine Revelation. That was my
Yeah, I
first
noticed that.
book, actually.
Oh, wow.
So tell us how that's different.
Oh, it's totally different. The Transcendental Meditation uses a mantra.
Right.
And a mantra is a kind of a vibration, a sound, a word, or a group of words that you use during the meditative process that takes you into deep, deep meditation. A divine revelation is more about just letting go and allowing and experiencing divine contact directly, and also learning how to listen to the still small voice within, your intuitive voice, how to develop your clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient abilities, how to have direct contact and communication with spirit with a capital S, and how to distinguish and discern between that true divine voice and other voices in your mind, how to test whether the message is the real thing, message meaning intuitive messages that you're getting. So that is a method that I learned and that I like better than TM, but that's just for me. I mean, I still recommend people, especially beginners, to practice TM. I think it's a good meditation technique.
Yeah, there are many, many, many different ways to do it. And what I always tell people is, you know, figure it out for yourself, but keep trying it, keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yes.
it is, you know, I heard you describe life as being magical and seemingly, I don't want, you know, not mystical, but just magical. And maybe for our listeners, explain what that really means. Because I say it a lot, I experience it a lot, but I don't know that I can actually put words to it other than it's a divine connection. It's feeling groovy. That's my biggest expression. I like to feel groovy, and I feel groovy all the time. But, you know, life is seemingly magical. Things, synchronicities happen, things show up in my world that I have, you know, and these are kinds of things that happen in my life, Susan, that are way beyond being a coincidence.
That's right. Coincidences that are not really coincidental take place all over your life when you are in touch and in tune with spirit with a capital S. So yeah, you'll just find that you're in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing, the right people show up, you know. You know, it's just things go really well. Things go easy. It's like easy, effortless, and joyous life. And that's what really we deserve to have that kind of life. And we can have that kind of life when we do some spiritual practices, when we do some practices that help us to get in touch with who we really are. And I do believe that meditation is key to all of this. Meditation is the key practice that will bring you in touch with your true nature, that will allow you to experience your higher self, that will allow you to be able to tap into the universal spirit so that you can ask any question and get an answer at any time at will, and learn how to receive divine messages, how to receive healing, wisdom, inspiration from within yourself, and to tap into that kind of treasure trove of divinity that's within you, which is the source of all that is.
Right.
And so for someone who's new at this,
Mm-hmm.
is
Raise your
meditation
hand, Jackie.
is meditation the first place to start? And how does that collaborate, so to speak, with the chakra book that you've written?
Good question.
Yeah, meditation is a great way to start. And in my book, the big book of Chakras and Chakra healing, there are many, many practices in that book, not only meditation, but breathing exercises, bandhas, meaning muscular locks, many different traditional yogic practices are in the book. And my other book, The Third Eye Meditations, that entire book is filled with guided meditations. So that's totally a meditation book. It's filled with meditations and some affirmations and mantras are in there as well. But that will really help you to experience meditation, because guided meditation is the easiest possible way to meditate, because if you just read the meditations, you will be led into a meditative state, or even better, speak the meditations and record your own voice, and then sit down, close your eyes, be comfortable, and then close your eyes and play back that meditation, listen to it, listen to your own voice guiding you into meditation. Or you can get an audio book. And what we're talking about is this book, which is Third Eye Meditations. Yeah. So that will help you to actually meditate without effort. You just I call it the do nothing program. You do nothing and less than nothing. You just have a neutral attitude, but open to receive. And the guided meditations will take you into deep meditation.
And that only takes like 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes a day, right, Susan? I mean,
less than that. Most of these meditations are shorter than that in this particular book. Yeah.
Did you record your own audiobook?
No, it was done professionally.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can remember when I first started out, and I'm a business owner. I have a machine shop, and I would go out to my truck every day and just reset. And I created this visual, Susan, of hitting Control-Alt-Delete twice on my brain.
Yeah.
And just rebooting and then being in that place. And it was completely empowering. I mean, it was like I'd walk back into my office with a clean slate, ready to go and ready to accept what was coming next.
Absolutely. It worked.
I was totally blown away by the power.
Yeah. It's all about everything that I teach is based upon one principle, and that is ask and it shall be given unto you. So by having that intention that you talked about of resetting and asking for that and receiving that, it happens, and it happens instantaneously. So it's all about asking and receiving, asking and receiving, asking and receiving, practice, 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 practice. And just like anything in life, any skill that you want to learn, playing the piano or whatever, requires practice. So the more you meditate and the more you develop your intuition through asking and receiving, the better you get at it. It takes practice.
So let's drill down in this just a little bit more. And so there's meditation, and how does understanding the chakra and the chakra energy system, how do you put those two together, and the healing aspect of that?
And I have a question about the third eye. Tell us a little bit about how that all works together.
Okay. So we talked about that there were 7 major chakras.
Right.
And chakra number 6, sixth chakra, is called Agya chakra, which means, it's a Sanskrit word that means command center. So Agya chakra is in the middle of your head. It's in the area of the pineal gland, right in the center of your brain. It's not in your brain, but it is a gland that's in the center of your brain.
Very center.
And that is where the third eye is located. And the third eye is known as the eye of illumination. It is the eye that sees things hidden from view. I mean, we see with our 2 physical eyes, but there's a third eye through which we see things that are not normally seen in the physical world. So we can see other realms, other dimensions, and we can actually be in contact with divine spirit through that third eye. Now, every one of your major chakras is associated with a planet, and the planet associated with the third eye is Jupiter. And in Sanskrit, the word for Jupiter is guru. Guru, meaning the preceptor or the teacher. So the guru is located in your third eye. That's your inner teacher, your inner knowing, your intuition. So when you're opening that third eye, what happens is you're opening the eye of illumination, you're spiritually awakening, you're developing spiritual gifts such as clairvoyance, clairaudience, and clairsentience. And you're experiencing higher consciousness.
Right.
So that's why the third eye is important, and that's why, well, I called that book Third Eye Meditations.
And those are designed to help awaken that or put focus on that. But the rest of the chakras, so how do the chakras work with healing? Do we meditate on a certain area, or do we put, thought into that area while we're meditating? How do those two go together?
Yeah, so every one of our major chakras, the 7 major chakras, well, actually all the chakras, all 14 that I talk about in my book, are associated with a part of the body and with a part of our functioning, For example, the root chakra is involved with excretion and elimination. The pelvic chakra is involved with procreation. The third chakra, or navel chakra, digestion. The fourth chakra is the heart and lungs. The fifth chakra is our expression, our ability to communicate with people and express artistically and that sort of thing. The third eye is involved with what I was just talking about, intuition, higher consciousness, and then the crown chakra is involved with unbounded awareness. So every one of the chakras is involved with some aspect of life and with some actual physical functioning as well. So if our chakras are muddy, if they're not clear, then we can become unhealthy and also unhappy. So we want to keep the chakras alive and well, and we want to stay alive and well.
So the meditation part is then to provide some sort of clearing.
Yes, opening the chakras, clearing the chakras. So yes, I have many methods in my book, the big book of Chakras and Chakra Healing, many methods to help you to clear and to awaken these energy centers and to keep them healthy and increase the flow of pranic energy, meaning life force energy, through your subtle body.
Right. Very cool. So, I see Jackie going. Go ahead, Jackie.
That's okay. I was just going to ask if Susan could lead us through some meditation.
She sure can.
Would that be appropriate to do?
Sure, I'd be happy to do that. So why don't we get comfortable now?
Okay.
And we'll just close our eyes, and we'll just take a big deep breath to unite with each other. Breathe in and let it go. And another big deep breath. Breathe in and release. And a big deep breath of relaxation. Breathe in and completely let go. Let go, let go, let go, let go, let go, let go, let God. Peace, peace, be at peace. Be still and be at peace. Perfect peace, perfect peace, perfect peace. Be still and be at peace. Let us now become aware that we are going into a deep, powerful, and profound meditation. As we take a deep breath, breathe in and let it all go. And we know that this meditation takes us into higher consciousness and also into a state of connection with spirit and divine energy. So let's take another deep breath to go deeper. Breathe in and let it all go. And let us now imagine that there's a beautiful divine light above our head, filled with glory, filled with energy, most beauteous divine light above our head. And this is the light of spirit with a capital S. in whatever color you notice, or maybe no color, whatever it is, there's a beautiful, beautiful, like radiant sun of spiritual light above our head. And now we imagine that there is a ray of that light, which is now coming down through the midline of our body. Ray of beauteous divine light. It comes down through the top of our head, all the way down to our toes. And it's a beautiful, radiant, pulsating light. And that light begins to vibrate and radiate and become more and more powerful, begins to grow and expand. It begins to radiate and vibrate and begins to expand to fill our physical body. That divine light is now radiating, vibrating, scintillating. It is a beauteous divine light that is beginning to just quietly and easily and effortlessly fill our entire energy field. That light is now expanding, radiating, vibrating, filling, and surrounding our body, becoming larger and larger and growing in strength and intensity. That light is becoming so powerful and strong and peaceful and joyous and vibrating and radiating and filling us with greater and greater life force energy. We are experiencing this beauteous, beauteous light that's filling and surrounding us and creating an entire pillar of light that encompasses our entire body and our energy field, extending outward, larger than the boundaries of this physical body, just becoming so radiant and just vibrating into the atmosphere and creating love and peace and energy that just vibrates all around us, filling us, surrounding us, lifting us, bringing joy and light and happiness, not only to ourselves, but to everyone around us. And we feel ourselves being just caressed and bathed in divine love. Divine love is now filling and surrounding us now. We are being immersed now in an ocean of divine love. We are being bathed in this beauteous ocean of pure love. And we are filled with the gentle, soft radiation of divine light and the beauteous, loving presence of the divine, of our own inner nature, our true higher self, which fills and surrounds us now with pure love. And we just enjoy this experience of divine love, which softens us and fills us with compassion and kindness and generosity and charity. And our hearts are just expanding with divine love right here and right now. And we give gratitude to God for this beautiful experience today of meditation. We're going to come out of meditation, but keep your eyes closed until I tell you to open them. So how we're going to come out of the meditation is we'll just pretend we're blowing out a candle like this. So just do that. Coming forth from the level of spirit to the level of mind, knowing that our minds are now filled with this light and this love and this gratitude that we're experiencing now. And we blow out another candle, knowing that our bodies are filled with robust health and well-being and relaxation. Blowing out another candle. Coming forth into the environment, but keeping your eyes closed, knowing that you're aware of the space around you, sitting in the chair, or wherever you're sitting, just being aware of your environment, the sounds around you, and just beginning to come back all the way out into the environment. Now blowing out another candle, coming all the way out into inward and outward balance. Now just blow out another 4 candles and then come all the way out to inward and outward balance, and then open your eyes. Coming all the way out, opening your eyes wide open with your eyes. And now say this affirmation after me with eyes wide open. I am alert.
I am alert.
I am alert.
I am awake.
I am awake.
I am awake.
I am inwardly and outwardly balanced.
I am inwardly and outwardly
balanced.
I am in control.
I am in control.
I am the only authority in my life.
I am the
only authority in my life.
I am divinely protected by the light of my being.
I am
divinely protected by the light of my being.
Thank you, God, and so it is.
Thank you, God,
Thank you,
and
so it is.
So, Jackie, what was your experience? You've never meditated. I know you haven't. Or have you played around with it?
Not like, I've meditated a little bit, but not live with someone actually speaking to me. So, but usually when I get into that meditative mode, I'm always on a warm beach. It's that warmth of the sun, it's the warmth of the beach, and that's where I can relax, and that's where I can feel at peace. So that's kind of where I went. Seeing a beach. And as Susan was talking about the energy filling me, I could see it. I could see myself from afar with this light, around me, and going out over to the water and just expounding to fill the entire beach. So that's kind of what I was experiencing.
Lovely. It's a very good experience.
Yeah, it's very cool. So, Susan, that's as simple as it gets. Especially finding a guided meditation that helps. And I think, that lasted all of about 5 minutes, and it really puts people in a different space. It clears the slate.
Absolutely.
I feel like there's more light behind me.
Absolutely.
Did it get lighter?
The sun is shining.
Yes.
I've had many experiences like that the sun would come out, or after a meditation, or I can even remember doing a meditation like that, Susan, and I was in a teepee, a real teepee.
Yes.
I was studying with a Blackfoot Indian tribe with a shaman up in Calgary. And we came out of the meditation, and there was a little slit in the top of the teepee, and this beam of light was just like right down on top of my head. And people took pictures of it. It was pretty cool.
Cool.
Wow.
Yeah. But that's that's just the kind of synchronicity things that happen when you do things like that. It's really cool. Wow.
Huh. Well, thank you, Susan.
Oh my goodness, lady. Thank you. That was really great. We only have about 5 minutes left. This time has just flown by. Susan, is there anything? I mean, we're missing a whole lot. I would love to have you back on the show, because I think there's so much more. And your smile just radiates, beaming right at me. But is there anything else that you'd like our listeners to know today about chakra healing? Anything that we really didn't get into?
Oh, there's so much. Like I said, my book is an encyclopedia.
Well, get Susan's book. That's the first thing. Go to Amazon. You can find it. It's right there. And your website, Susan. Tell us about your website.
drsusan.org is my website that's really about me and about my books and all of that. And then I have another website called divinetravels.com. That's plural on the travels, divinetravels.com, and check that out. And I'm a producer of holistic seminars at sea and tours to sacred destinations. So you can check that all out on that website, divinetravels.com.
So tell us about some cool destination travel. Here, I'll tell you the coolest one that I was ever on, and I'll make it short. But it was in Egypt, and we treated the Nile. It was 21 days. We treated the Nile like the spine. And we started at Aswan, and then stopped at the temple sites as we cruised down the Nile and focused on each chakra center. And And then we ended up in the King's Chamber of the Great Pyramid on the last day, focusing on the crown chakra. And I'll tell you, that was the most moving experience that I've ever had dealing with the chakra. So that was a cool one that I've been on. But what are some of the cool ones you take people on?
Yeah, Egypt is a wonderful destination. I've taken people to India, to different other places, Peru, Bali, Egypt, all these. But also I'm doing these holistic seminars at sea. For example, Sail with Spirit is coming up in
on cruise ships.
On cruise ships, yeah. So Sail with Spirit, August 28th to September 4th of 2020. And we are sailing from Seattle to Alaska. And there's many amazing spiritual teachers that will be on that cruise. It's a seminar at sea. So we got Lisa Williams and Denise Lynn and Dougal Fraser, Radley Valentine, a lot of Susan Miller, Suzanne Wilson.
And when is this?
This is August 28th to September 4th.
Wow.
I think we need to do Life Mastery Radio from the ship. That's what I'm thinking.
I think we need to go on a cruise with Susan. That sounds
yes.
Oh man, that would be so cool.
Totally.
It's very cool. Very cool. So check that out. Sailwithspirit.com is the address for that particular cruise. And you know, if you go to divinetravels.com, that's where you see the various cruises that there'll be more coming up. We're actually about to go live with the next one, which is the Chariots of the Gods cruise with Eric Von Daniken and many UFO and ancient mysteries people from Ancient Aliens. And
yeah.
Oh my goodness, I could not get enough of Eric. Chariots of the Gods. He's just like one of my heroes. Man.
Well, he'll be on the cruise. Yeah, that'll be March 7th to the 14th of 2021.
Wow.
Check it out. When the website is live, it'll be cotgcruise.com. In other words, Chariots of the Gods cruise.com. cotgcruise.com.
You just never know who you're going to run into, do you, Jack? You just never know.
That's right. Now, Susan, I have one more question for you because I have an Indian friend who told me that there were lucky colors for each day of the week.
Yeah.
Is that something to do with chakras or?
Yes,
okay. So can you tell me
each,
what those are? Do you remember what they are?
Yes, of course. So the days of the week are associated, there's 7 of them, and they're associated with the 7 chakras. They're associated with planets, and they're associated with colors. The planets are associated with colors. So we begin with Sunday, day of the sun. And that one is obviously the planet is the sun, and it is the solar plexus. Solar, duh.
There you
solar
go.
Plexus,
okay.
Sun, and the color is red. The day of the moon, moon day, Monday, that is obviously associated with the 2nd chakra, which is fecundity and fertilization. It's, you know, the moon, the menses, the female cycle. So that is Monday, and the color is orange. Tuesday, which is in French and in Spanish, Mars Day, the day of Mars, Mardi in French, for example. And that would be, Mars is associated with the root chakra, which has to do with a male energy and survival instincts and aggression and that sort of thing. War, the god of war is Mars. That's the color there is yellow. And then we
Susan,
have.
I'm going to have to jump in. I'm going to have to jump in. We are down.
These in your book?
We're out of time. Out of time. Find out the rest in the book.
Yeah, it's in the book. Awesome.
Thank you so much for being
the
on the
book.
show today. I enjoyed it immensely. I hope you'd be open to coming back. I think this was a lot of fun, and I think there was a lot more to talk about.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Thanks for inviting me, Todd. It's been a pleasure to
That's
meet
about all
you,
we have
Todd
time for
and Jackie.
today. I am sorry we came down to the wire. Lastly, I really would appreciate it if you make it a great day, because it's all about choice. Bye-bye for now.
Bye, everybody.